Alpine Lumber Company was founded in Englewood, Colorado in 1963 with the simple goal of providing unparalleled service to Colorado's professional building community. That guiding philosophy has allowed Alpine to successfully expand throughout Colorado and into northern New Mexico. Alpine Lumber employs an entrepreneurial approach to business and empowers each manager with the freedom to tailor his or her operation and product mix to the local market in order to best serve the customer base, to quickly react to special needs, and to ultimately ensure success. Honesty, integrity, and impeccable business ethics are paramount at Alpine. We currently operate 14 builder-oriented lumber yards, 3 Alpine truss shops, 3 Alpine millwork operations, a pre-built stair shop, fast frame floor center, and 2 Rocky Mountain reload facilities. Alpine Lumber is 100% employee owned, and the pride of ownership is evident throughout all aspects of our operations. In an era of consolidations, we have steadfastly maintained our independence and are confident in our ability to compete on any level. Almost all of our top managers, salespeople, and executives have started out with Alpine Lumber, usually at an entry-level position, but have been given the opportunity to work their way up through the company. Our employee stock ownership program begins after 1 year of service with Alpine. You will begin to receive stock in Alpine. This is part of what makes Alpine 100% employee owned and operated for over 50 years. On behalf of myself and all the other employee owners, we welcome you to Alpine Lumber Company.
I'm here in Steamboat Springs. We have a retail lumber yard. Most of our business is with professional contractors, but we also have a lot of homeowner and do-it-yourself customers as well. So I'd say it's probably 75% contractors and 25% homeowners and do-it-yourselfers. Well, I've been in management now for 14 years, and I started, like many in our company, as a truck driver and load builder, and moved inside and got into management, and now I oversee the steamboat yard and also work closely with the managers of Eagle and Granby and help with those operations as well. Our culture is one that, since we are owners, we're all in this together, and I think we care more, and I think that really gives us a leg up against the competition in terms of how successful we've been. I think one of our biggest challenges right now to find future managers of our operations. Most in our management team all started at entry-level positions, whether it was in the yard, in a truck, or on a forklift, and we have a history of promoting from within, and so I think the opportunities in this company going forward are huge for a new employee that wants to become an employee owner and is willing to grow with the company and work hard, that have great opportunities for success.
Alpine Lumber, primarily on the Front Range in the Denver metro area, is a B2B type operation, business to business. We specialize in supplying the professional builder to the job site delivered product. So it's not primarily a retail type operation like you would think of in a Home Depot or a Lowe's, where people are walking into our locations and picking up product. 99% of our product is delivered to the job site. So in a millwork operation, each house requires so many doors, so many feet of casing, base, various types of moldings, crown moldings. So the doors get pre-hung, so they have a bore and mortise, which is where your hinges go and where your door handle goes. So that order gets put together, and then an individual goes out into the warehouse and pulls exactly what's needed just for that house. I actually retired for 5 years and had the luxury of choosing what business I wanted to go back to work for if I was going to do so, and I chose Alpine for those very reasons. The culture here within this organization is absolutely fabulous. It's a local corporation, tight-knit family, a great culture, and a lot of mutual respect for the individual, and takes excellent care of their customer base.
I've been with the company for approximately over 7 years, going on my 8th year. On a day-to-day basis, we supply pre-engineered roof and floor trusses for residential and commercial buildings, new construction and existing. We also do pre-manufactured stairs. So on a day-to-day basis, this facility, we provide pre-engineered roof and floor truss drawings, and also the actual product for residential and commercial buildings, both new construction and existing buildings. We do all the design in-house, prefab in-house, and delivery out of this location. One of the benefits of working for Alpine Lumber is definitely the ESOP, where each employee takes pride in their work because the stock option program gives every employee another retirement fund besides for the 401k. So as long as every employee is doing their part and doing it correctly, it makes the whole company profitable, which makes our ESOP that much better.
What we do here at Rocky Mountain Reload is we unload rail cars of commodity lumber, studs, OSB, and distribute them to the Alpine lumber yards. At Fast Frame, we cut manufactured floor systems. We unload cars of 60-foot engineered wood products and cut them into floor packs and distribute them to the lumber yards also. I've been with Alpine for 21 years. What I like most about Alpine is that it's an employee-owned company. There's a lot of longevity in the company with a lot of employees, and it's good to see new employees come on board. I think for any new employee, it'd be a great place to start. You know, a lot of opportunities. We have multiple yards, which gives you multiple opportunities, whether it be in sales or management. Definitely the ESOP has to rank right up there at the top. You know, being an employee-owned company, employee stock ownership plan was a great benefit for us. The flex time they offer, the 401k, medical, dental, optical. It's just Alpine has a very rich benefit package.
Alpine Lumber makes safety a priority. It's everyone's responsibility, no matter the position that they hold, from an entry-level truck driver to the CEO of the organization. We are all one, all working towards safe goals. You are, however, working in a dangerous industry, working with trucks, forklifts, saws of a variety of kinds, all of which can be very dangerous if we're not careful. Despite the fact that we work in an industry where there are hazards, Alpine Lumber maintains a quality safety record. Many of our locations have gone years without a lost time accident. We'll work for you and with you so that you can leave work in the same condition that you came to work each day. We do work in an environment where from time to time accidents do occur. When that is the case, we encourage our employees to immediately report any dangerous situation or accidents to their supervisor so that they can get immediate medical attention if necessary, or just the unsafe condition made safe so that other employees aren't bothered. Reporting of your injury is important to do so as soon as possible, and in fact we require that you report any incidents to your supervisor within 24 hours at least of the incident. Otherwise, there is a potential that your workers' compensation claim could be withheld and unpaid. This is a work environment, and as such we encourage and require our employees to work as professionally as possible. Therefore, no horseplay of any kind is permitted. That can be anything from casual pushing and shoving to even more physical contact, but anything whatsoever not deemed appropriate could be reason for disciplinary action up to and including termination. Most of our positions, whether it's in the manufacturing facilities or in the lumber yards, have personal protective equipment that is required for you to do your job safely and effectively. We encourage you to understand what personal protective equipment is appropriate for the job that you're doing and wear it. If you are not understanding what protection is available or necessary, ask a supervisor or refer to your employee handbook. Fortunately at Alpine Lumber, we don't have many hazardous chemicals that you'll be exposed to. but from time to time you may be asked to work with a chemical, and as such you should know the precautions to be taken. Safety data sheets are available for you to understand better the chemical and to understand the precautions and the personal protective equipment necessary to work with that chemical. If you have questions, feel free to ask your supervisor. Housekeeping is very important. Keeping your work area safe and free of debris, free of hazards, is important for your safety and the safety of those that work around you. Take that extra minute. Clean up after your jobs, whether you're working in the office or whether you're working on the manufacturing floor. Warning signs and labels are available in the workplace for your personal protection and safety. We encourage you to understand what those labels mean and to abide by the information that is provided for you on both the labels and the signs. When we think about what's important to wear at the workplace, we often think of what looks neat or what looks cool. But what is really important to us at Alpine Lumber is what to wear that is appropriate for the business, for our vendors, for our customers, and for fellow employees that we're working with, that is appropriate for professional business. Even if you're working in the lumber yard, we encourage you to consider what is appropriate. Things like sleeveless shirts are inappropriate. Shirts with markings on them that perhaps are inappropriate in the workplace, sayings or symbols or signs. Shorts are allowed in the summer if you're working in a position that's outside, but they need to be work shorts and they need to be clean and in good order. We encourage appropriate shoes. Closed-toe shoes in particular is not necessary for most of our jobs to wear steel-toed shoes. However, if you are operating a chainsaw, you may find that appropriate. Some of our positions do require specific personal protective equipment, such as gloves. If you're working on a forklift, working with a chainsaw, or working in a manufacturing position where your exposure to splinters and wood could be a problem, gloves are recommended. Hard hats are only required for drivers who, upon entering a job site where hard hats are required, need to be donned and worn appropriately. Bling, jewelry, is cool, but oftentimes not in the workplace, and we encourage you to look at the kinds of jewelry that you're wearing. Is it appropriate for our vendors and our customers to see you as a representative of Alpine Lumber? Likewise, are you wearing it safely so that you don't have the chance of having it get caught in a piece of equipment? Some of you will be drivers. Whether you are forklift operators or whether you are over-the-road drivers, it's important for you to maintain all the safety requirements associated with your important position. They start from your pre-trip inspection. Whether you are a forklift operator or a truck driver, before your shift starts, before you take that vehicle on the road or around the workplace, make sure that you have completed your pre-trip inspection. There are forms available to be filled out daily prior to your shift start. All safety equipment, including flares or safety triangles, first aid boxes, hard hats, anything that might be necessary in a vehicle, that it's there and available. Likewise, if your vehicle does not check out appropriately, if a turn signal is not working, if a tire is low, whatever the case may be, it's important for you to note that on your pre-trip inspection and to make your supervisor aware of that so it can be fixed. It is law in Colorado to wear your seatbelts. Not only is it law, it's the right thing to do for your personal protection and safety. Seatbelt wearing is mandatory, whether you're driving your personal vehicle on company business or a company-owned vehicle. Likewise, Utilizing hands-free cellular or wireless devices is important while you're driving and conducting business with Alpine. If you don't have that available to you, pull over to the side of the road, take the call, make it brief, and then safely move back onto the road. This is a brief synopsis of our safety program at Alpine. Once again, this is a very important aspect of what we do and how we do what we do. Our employer owners are important to each one of us, and we encourage you to know and understand the safety requirements, the safety procedures and processes necessary to do your job. You will, at this point, have time to meet with your supervisor or manager who will go over specifics about your work area, the safety processes, procedures, and personal protective equipment necessary to do your job safely. Thanks for working safely at Alpine Lumber.
Hi, I would like to talk to you about a number of our policies and procedures here at Alpine Lumber, starting with paydays. All employees are paid on a biweekly basis. There are 26 biweekly pay periods in each year, and you are encouraged to establish a direct deposit account within 30 days of employment. Certain deductions required by law are withheld from your check and paid on your behalf. Other automatic deductions may be made upon your authorization. These may include, but are not limited to, deductions for employee purchases, charity contributions, or additional tax withholdings and insurance. Alpine Lumber Company attempts to offer our employee owners a full complement of primary and voluntary benefits to meet the needs of the employee and their family members. Eligibility and costs for the various benefits vary with benefit options selected. New employees will receive benefit option details immediately upon meeting the eligibility criteria. And you will also receive benefit option details annually during the open enrollment period. And the summaries are available at open enrollment meetings by contacting Human Resources and on the company internet at any time. If any of this information differs from the plan document always governs. The organization provides up to 12 weeks of unpaid job-protected leave to eligible employees for the following reasons: incapacity due to pregnancy, prenatal medical care, or childbirth, to care for the employee's child after birth or placement for adoption or foster care, to care for the employee's spouse, son or daughter, or parent who has a serious health condition. A serious health condition that makes the employee unable to perform the employee's job. Even though there are numerous operational rules that you will learn, one of the most important is that no materials are to leave Alpine property without an invoice. And number 2, no material comes into an Alpine location without proper documentation. There are no exceptions to this rule. If you see this behavior occur, either let your manager know or contact your Human Resources. No retaliation will occur to the reporting employee. Alpine Lumber is committed to a safe, healthy, and productive work environment for all employees, free from the effects of illegal or non-prescribed drugs and alcoholic beverages. The company strictly prohibits the manufacture, sale, transfer, or possession of illegal drugs on company premises, in company vehicles, or at any time while representing the company. It also requires all employees to abstain from the use of controlled substances at any time or risk violating company regulations prohibiting the presence of controlled substances in their body. In addition, employees may not report for work or be at work while under the influence of alcohol or bring any alcoholic beverage onto the company premises. If you are performing safety-sensitive jobs and are taking prescribed drugs which may affect your job performance, you should report this to your manager. Testing is an important element in the company's efforts to ensure a safe and productive work environment. The company utilizes random, for-cause, and Department of Transportation required testing procedures. The use of marijuana remains a federally controlled illegal substance and therefore will fall within the company's zero tolerance policy, even if an employee holds a valid medical permit. Employees receive a copy of Alpine's alcohol and substance abuse policy and must sign a statement at the time employment begins. Please contact your manager or corporate human resources director if you have any questions concerning these matters. The company maintains a strict no smoking policy inside company buildings and company vehicles. Individual locations may have designated outdoor smoking areas, but it is up to users of this area to maintain its cleanliness. Smoking breaks in excess of the company's standard paid break allowance of one 10-minute break in the morning and one 10-minute break in the afternoon are discouraged unless pre-approved by your supervisor and will be taken as unpaid leave time. At this time, Brian will wrap up policies and procedures with you.
Hi, I'd like to discuss flex time. Flexible time off is currently granted to employees to provide time off with pay for vacation, sick days, personal days, and funeral leave. Employees may use this time as they see fit. Flex time should be requested and approved in advance, if possible, in order to minimize interruptions to operations. Flex time must be taken in no less than 4-hour increments. Employees currently accrue flex time hours according to their length of continuous service. Alpine Lumber believes employees should work in an environment without intimidation, threats, or violence. Employees must not engage in intimidation, bullying, threats, or hostile behaviors, physical abuse, vandalism, arson, sabotage, use of weapons, or any other acts which, in management's opinion, is inappropriate to the workplace. In addition, employees must refrain from making overt or offensive comments regarding violent events and/or behavior. Employees are expected to report any prohibited conduct to management. Employees should directly contact proper law enforcement authorities if they believe there is a serious threat to the safety and health of themselves or others. Any action which, in management's opinion, is inappropriate to the workplace will not be tolerated. Such behaviors may include, but are not limited to, physical and/or verbal intimidating, threatening or violent conduct, vandalism, sabotage, arson, and use of weapons on company property. Employees should immediately report any such occurrences to their manager or to the Director of Human Resources. All complaints will be promptly investigated. When employees are found to have engaged in the above conduct, management will take action which it believes is appropriate. To maintain a productive work environment, Alpine Lumber expects employees to be punctual in reporting for scheduled work. Absenteeism and tardiness place a burden on other employees and on the company. If you're going to be absent or late, you should notify your supervisor in advance of the anticipated tardiness or absence. A written doctor's excuse and/or fitness for duty may be required if you are absent for more than 3 working days. Absenteeism or tardiness that is excessive in the judgment of the company will not be tolerated. Employees who are absent for 3 consecutive working days without notifying your supervisor will be terminated. Alpine Lumber strongly opposes sexual harassment and inappropriate sexual conduct. Sexual harassment is defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature. All employees are expected to conduct themselves in a professional and businesslike manner at all times. Inappropriate sexual conduct that could lead to a claim of sexual harassment is expressly prohibited by this policy. Such conduct includes, but is not limited to, sexually implicit or explicit communications, whether in written form, such as cartoons, posters, calendars, notes, letters, or emails, or verbal form, such as comments, jokes, foul or obscene language of a sexual nature, gossiping, or questioning about another's sex life, as well as repeated unwanted requests for dates. Physical gestures and other nonverbal behavior, such as unwelcome touching, grabbing, fondling, kissing, massaging, and brushing up against another's body, are not tolerated. Your manager may require you to work overtime. In these instances, you are given as much advance notice as possible. Non-exempt employees are paid at the rate of 1 1/2 times their regular hourly rate for hours worked in excess of 40 during the established work week, and for hours worked in excess of 12 hours per day or in accordance to state law. The established work week begins at 12:01 a.m. on Sunday and ends at 12 midnight on Saturday. For purposes of calculating overtime payment hours paid for holidays, flex time, and jury duty are not considered as hours worked. All overtime worked by non-exempt employees must be approved in advance by their supervisors. Working overtime without management approval will not be tolerated and may result in disciplinary action. Alpine Lumber currently observes the following holidays as days off with pay: New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, the Friday after Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and the employee's birthday. Holidays occurring on Sundays are normally observed on the following Monday. On some occasions, management may elect to be closed a half or full day before or after a holiday, depending on the calendar and on business considerations. In the event of any such closure, the additional half or full day will not be considered additional paid time off, and employees will not be paid for the additional time off.
Well, my title is technically front counter sales, but I do many positions around here. I drive, I can operate a forklift and do all that. I also am in charge of purchasing a lot of the fasteners in the store and do front counter sales as well. So I run the gamut of stuff around here pretty much. And I can help a customer out and I can tell they appreciate it and they get exactly what they want. It's a good feeling. I love it. The chance for advancement is amazing. I've moved up quite a bit already just in the 2 years I've been here. It doesn't matter where you start out, you can move your way up if you're qualified and you do a good enough job. Definitely plenty of chance for advancement and room for opportunity for growth. From my experience, I've seen many people move up through the ranks. So the benefits at Alpine are great, not only the health and vision and dental and all that comes with that. The ESOP is a huge one. It's a great benefit that you don't really see on a day-to-day basis, but it's definitely there, and it's kind of like free money in your pocket, so it's a great benefit. Yeah, the employees here are great. Everybody who's here has been here for a good amount of time, and there's a reason for that. We all get along great, and yeah, it's definitely a great work environment. So yeah, once again, Alpine's just a great place to work. The work environment's amazing. The people I work with are great, and with the room for advancement and everything, it's just, I think being an employee-owned company makes a huge difference.
My job day to day is I basically assume the role of operations manager. So basically, I feel like I take it upon myself to the salesman sell the lumber, and it's my job to get it here and get it out, and get it to the customers in a timely manner, and get it to them right the first time, and just basically manage the inventory in the yard and manage all the deliveries and a lot of the receiving and everything that comes along with that. I found out about Alpine. I went to a job fair in Loveland. I was living in Greeley, working, doing some oil field stuff up there, and met Bob Bowman, and he actually called me the next week and and said, hey, we've got this manager in training program, why don't you come down, let me talk to you. And I went down and talked to him, and it sounded, first of all like a great company, and second of all like a great option. And then I got to move to Steamboat for it, so that was cool as well. I mean, I moved here and didn't really know anybody, and it's I feel like it's a tight-knit company, and especially at each location. And so everybody just welcomed me, and yeah, being here over a year, I mean, it's fun to get to know people and their families, and get to know the contractors and the customers as well. I think the biggest benefit for me, the reason I started working here, was just the opportunity to start out as a manager in training, and then be able to work your way up. As long as you're here, and also the employee ownership is a huge piece of it. I mean, it's great. It really provides a different mindset to work when you know that you and everybody you work with is an owner. The thing I like best about working at Alpine is just the employees that I get to work with, and also the customers and the contractors and the homeowners that come in here, and just really getting to know them. I mean, Steamboat's a tight-knit community, and it's a kind of a community that we have in itself here. And so just getting to know them and their families, and providing everybody with the best service that we can, and yeah, it's fun. It's a fun place to work, and it's a fun job to have.
It's been a great experience. I have learned so much. I started out as a driver's helper myself. I moved up and I started building doors, did that for a few years, and just recently I was moved up to take care of the docks and do the dispatching for Alpine, and to me it's been a great experience. Well, as soon as I come in, make sure drivers get their loads, they're ready to go with their helper. I go in the office, I get paperwork for the next day ready, and then I start pulling up material for the drivers, whether it's doors, whether it's trim, anything from the mill. That way when they get back from their run, they're ready to go start loading for the next day. They go through their paperwork, check it, make sure it's complete. That way we don't, we send the right stuff to our customers, and there's no problem there. But we hand load everything, which is trim, doors, mill, whatever got to go out, we throw it in the truck and make sure it's good to go and everything fits perfectly. It's pretty hectic, but at the same time we make it as fun as possible. And the benefits here at Alpine, they're great. Whether it's the 401k to the employee stock ownership plan, it's awesome. It's awesome. You'll be able to make a lot of money and at the same time become a better person and just mature in everything. Well, Alpine's a great company. I mean, to me, they've treated me right. What I love about Alpine is they let you move up. Before they try to hire somebody from outside, they'll ask you if you're ready, if you're capable of doing that job, whether they start out in the door shop. I mean, they have an opportunity to grow and become a good part of this company. I'm glad I joined Alpine. Like I said, I plan on staying here for a while.
I've been in the lumber industry since probably the mid-'80s. Normal day, start between 6 and 6:30 in the morning. I come in, make sure all the trucks are loaded, get the gates opened up, get all the guys in the yard lined out on what they're going to be building, get all the trucks out of the yard, and then our vendor trucks come in and I start receiving material. Being employee owned is one of the best benefits. The work we do is going to help with the ESOP. Our insurance is really good, and it's a good bunch of people, like a team. Whether you play sports or if you've been in the military, you work together as a team, and we do things outside of work as a group also. My favorite part of the job, I like loading trucks. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Like I say, I know lumber really well. The interaction with all the different drivers that come in during the daytime. I'm on a first name basis with all the drivers from any of the businesses that deliver to us. So you get to know a lot of people. Just this last year, I was in the hospital. They took care of basically everything. They helped me out even through all the insurance, all the little things. There's people that are always willing to help. Good, friendly bunch.
Normally I would come in here about 5:30 in the morning, check my route, make sure everything's loaded, strapped on my truck. As soon as I'm getting ready to head out, I pull my truck out, do my daily check routine, see if my fuses are working, my headlights are working, everything else before I hit the road. Once I hit the road, I go one stop at a time, I get to my stops, unload, check all my material, that it's all there, perfectly loaded and unloaded on the job site. We get back and we start loading for the next day. Well, I've been in the millwork industry for about 8 years now, so I know quite a bit about it. I know trim shop, I know interior shop, pretty much everything around this warehouse I'm pretty familiar with. My favorite benefits, well, I get dental and I get health, so that really helps me out a lot and it helps my family out a lot. 401k and the ESOP program they have us in, it's a real good program for us. Get to retire 20 years from now. I mean, not a whole lot of other companies could say that they could retire one of their own in 20 years. Working for Alpine has been a very good experience. It doesn't matter where you start, from the bottom or the top, they're gonna treat you the same. And the good thing about Alpine, you can start from the bottom and you can work your way up. And you know, if you put the effort into it, sky's the limit.
I hope as you begin your career here, you can be as fortunate as I have been over the last 22 years, which is when I started driving a truck here at the Pecos yard. Since then, I've built loads, been on the inside, on the counter sales and backup sales. I've been assistant manager at a number of operations as well as manager at a few operations. Today I find myself as the president of Alpine Lumber Company, and I'm fortunate to call all of you my peers. Thank you for joining Alpine Lumber Company, and I wish you nothing but success as you begin your career with Alpine.